My headphones are loud as fuck.
Turn that down, maybe?
Or which one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's better.
Better? Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to Make It Make Sense podcast, guys. We are back. I took a week off, just fucking cuz.
Just fucking.
And we're back with some lovely ladies, some returning guests, and we're gonna get into it because we need to make it make sense, guys. This is getting out of hand. It's getting out of hand with how nonsensical dating has become, how difficult it seems to understand each other and or care what the other person wants. What the fuck is real anymore? Anyway, with that being said, we're going to go around the table and introduce everybody. And I'll start with me. My name's Troy. I am 36 years old, I think. I am a barber and I do this podcast and stuff. And I'm trying to make my mark in this content world. And yeah. And that's it. What about you?
Dating
Oh,
status?
yeah, and I'm with the one behind me, and she likes girls, so we do that thing.
Thanks for speaking for me.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'm spoken for.
well, maybe I'm not with her. Anyway, Miss Thing, Miss Attitude.
Stop.
know.
Ew. My name is Jessica. I'm 32 years old. I'm dating Troy. We have kids together. We see women together separately. And I'm a stay-at-home mompreneur.
Where's my
Meh,
phone?
meh, meh. You don't need it.
I
You
don't know
have
where all
me.
my buttons are.
That was perfect.
There it is.
Mine was better.
I agree. Yours is better.
Thank
And
you.
you, young lady?
My name is Sharissa. I'm a corporate receptionist. I'm single. And that's the questions, right? Oh, I'm 31.
Nice.
My name's Ashley.
Closer to the mic.
Is this better?
Yeah.
My name is Ashley, and I'm 35.
Damn.
I know.
Stop. You have that ready.
And I am in a relationship, and I act and model, and I'm a server at a steakhouse.
Nice. Okay. I'm not sure I like this camera angle because I'm not looking at that camera and I think it looks funny. So I'm going to move that. But before I do that, do you think women mean it when they say they are single by choice? And we're going to start with you, Ashley.
Okay. Well, I think it depends on the woman, because I've met different women that have chose to be single and really genuinely need to be single, if that makes sense. But then I feel like there are women that are problematic, and that's why they remain single, or naive to, I don't want to say it in a mean way, but like they just don't know how to,
Oh, that's better.
It is what it is.
yeah, like I don't know, they just, yeah, they bring too much toxicity or problems and not enough healed, like they haven't done their healing, I guess, is the best way to put it. So men run away.
I think that most women who say that are full of shit. But there are there's like one every now and then that might actually be by choice, but even deep down inside, if she had the opportunity to meet a good person, whether it's male or female, they would take it.
Yeah. Yeah, single by choice. I'm trying to think if I ever use that shit. Yeah, I would agree with you. I feel like there's like 1 in 100 that's like they're single by choice because, you know, they're being courted by a few different ones, or they're actually single because they got out of something like toxic and they're trying to heal and become a better person. But yeah, I think single by choice is like I'm wilding out because fuck everybody.
Oh yeah, definitely. That goes with the toxicity. I was talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
Haram!
Like if they had it their way, they think it's ghetto. I feel like I talk to a lot of single people that are like, it's ghetto out here, but still like they're in the club every weekend or they're doing like wilding out shit, like not making time for a significant other. So I'm like, how are you going to unghetto that? Because you
Contributing to the ghetto.
You're part of the problem.
right.
Yeah, exactly.
You're part of the hood. Isn't this the hood?
Yeah, you're part of the ghetto.
Is it my turn? Are you done? Did you have more?
Are you done?
Are you done?
You can just use me for
Thank you.
ad-libs
I wasn't
today.
finished. No, are you for real? Are you done?
Yeah.
Are you done? Are,
I am.
are you done?
Okay.
I think she's been practicing those ad libs.
To be perfectly honest, the only exception, the only time a woman is single by choice is when she left a relationship, and that's temporary. Like the by choice is temporary. Like, okay, here, let me ask you another question. Who controls who gets sex, men or women?
Women control.
Women.
Exactly, right? Otherwise it's a crime. And I would imagine women are pretty selective on who they sleep with, correct?
Yeah.
Some.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah.
Even whores are selective. You know what I mean? Not completely. I mean, like legit prostitutes. The money,
I mean, that goes
the
by
money is the only
That
thing
goes
that's
by
selective.
That's pretty selective too. There's a price.
But exactly, but because they're not just giving away for free,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, with that being said, I think a lot of women, most women, fail to realize that men control who gets commitment. So men are in control of relationships. So most women aren't single by choice. They're single because they don't qualify for the man that they want. Because if you had the man that you want courting you and giving you his time and telling you he wants to be with you, you're going to take it. You're not going to by choice say, nah, I'm straight. You know what I mean? Like that just doesn't make any sense. More so, like, no one is going to sit there and cope by saying they're healing or they're not ready or they're not in the season if someone were to offer them $1 million.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you're just going to take it. I don't care if you don't need it. I don't care if you've got $100 million. If somebody gives you a free, consequence-free $1 million, you're going to take it. So when women say, I'm single by choice, it's simply because they don't qualify for the man that they actually want. And I think that's the bigger issue in today's situation is that I don't think women think that there's just such an endless supply of quality men that and regardless of their level of where they rank to said man, it's like, I mean, all kinds of coping phrases like in God's time, I see it all the time on the dating apps. Seriously,
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
oh, because I'll have these conversations with the women in the dating apps, and it's like, oh, well, I'll find the right one when God says it's time. Like, He gave you tons of chances. You fucked them off.
You fuck them up, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, He sent great men your way. It's like, so it just blows my mind when women say that, oh, I can have any man I want. You can have any man you want. Fuck you. But can you keep that man?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that a lot of women are realizing that today. And because of the massive amount of attentions they get in DMs, likes, whatever, they just think that someone else is going to come along and be better. But it's like, do you even qualify for that man? You qualify for sex. A lot of you qualify for sex.
But not emotionally. And not with your heart. Like, you're not going to be a nurturer and a good wife and a good woman to your man if you haven't done those things,
Well, I also think that there's a lot of women who think that just because they're attractive physically, that the man that they want to be with is going to just drop everything and start paying their bills, start helping take care of their kids.
But that's also partially, not the kid aspect, but that's partially the society we live in too, though, is women do get a lot with their looks.
Yeah,
so the women run with that now, for sure. Here in the city, especially. I'm from a small town.
Oh, for sure.
So,
the looks get you in the door. The looks get you in the
yeah.
door. But again, that's what I'm talking about. That those looks get you fucked. Those looks don't get you commitment. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You-
But I was thinking more sugar daddy status because I worked in Scottsdale.
Yeah.
I saw this shit all the time.
Even that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, that's the reason they get the sugar daddies is because they look that way, and then they expect that kind of lifestyle from a young, strapping, handsome man
person.
The man they
who
wanna
wants
marry.
them.
Exactly,
You
exactly.
Who wants to marry their sugar daddy?
No,
I've never
yeah.
had a sugar daddy, but I've seen my friends' sugar daddies, and I'm like, girl, you brave.
Yeah. I've never had one either. But working in Scottsdale's wild. You see them all the time. It's interesting out there for sure.
But I've seen like a lot of those videos.
know? And why do you think that
online.
is? Why do you think that these older men with a lot of money are spending money on young, pretty women?
Sex.
Right? So knowing that a thing like sugar daddies exist,
It's like
knowing that strippers and OnlyFans girls can make tons of money monetizing their looks, why are women surprised that that's what men are interested in?
What do you mean?
Like
that's all they
women
want.
get upset when men are not attracted to the same things in a woman that women are attracted to in a man.
That's because women are going, and it kind of leads into one of your other questions. But I think it's because women go to other women and like they ask them for advice on what they should do to keep the man they want, or like to get the man they want, and they're like, well, this is what if you have a job, if you have like a lot of money to buy in these things, like they try to trick on men to keep them around. It happens all the time. And it's like if she feels like women feel like if they have sex with a man and they have like good vajayjay, he's gonna want to stay, or if she has good top, he's gonna want to stay.
Well, that's also another. That's up there. Looks and top are both of them. I mean, men do say things that, like, I think all cliches have so much more meaning behind them people want to dig into. You know
Well,
what I mean?
men are simple. Like they
Extremely simple.
they're
But
simple.
I'm not even just like men cliches. I'm talking about all of them. Like treat people as you want to be treated.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Like there's so much depth behind a lot of these cliche phrases, and one of them is good head or get your rent paid. You know what I mean?
But there's also like you were saying though, why do women get upset when men don't want the same things that they want? That's like when you see these women who will have like a guy move into their house, he's a homosexual. I mean, a homosexual. Sorry, a homosexual.
Okay, now I'm lost. Yeah, I was like, my lost.
Girls will have these gay dudes move.
You guys know what I meant.
Homosexual.
But they will like buy them all this stuff and then like do all these things that men do for women for this man, and then when he gets to this level of where he can take care of himself and then provide, he leaves her.
I think that's because women, especially today, because a lot of women don't have great relationships with their fathers, pick men the way children pick snacks. And what I mean by that is you offer a child an apple and they say no, but if you offer them a fruit snack, they say yes. They're going to take what's fun, exciting, and bad for them over what's good for them. That's how a lot of women pick men today. I mean, some of them grow out of it, but that's after 10 plus years, a decade of picking the fruit snacks. You know what I mean? Like, you know it's not good for you. You know you shouldn't do it. You know that it's going to be bad in the long run, but it's fun right now and it looks like a fucking blast. You know what I mean?
And on the flip side of that, recently I've been like asked on a date by a guy that I'm like, I know he's good for me. Like, I know that he would be good for me, but I'm like,
That's a damn shame. That's a damn shame.
because there's no physical attraction there for me. So, and he talks a lot, but that's neither there.
What?
Dang, that's.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
That's the truth.
That's why they say nice guys
Bro,
finish
I'm
last.
out, man.
Yeah.
It's not even that he's a nice guy, because it's not like he's like a square and I'm just like, ew. It's more so of like, when you are like me and you have kids, your dating pool is small. So I'm like, maybe I shouldn't go for the most attractive guy. Maybe I should kind of like compensate a little bit. But I have to be physically attracted to you, or else I'm not going to sleep with you. I just can't.
Yeah.
It feels
I mean,
like,
is he ugly as fuck? Like, or
Yeah.
is
To
because
me, he is.
because
Yeah.
men
Does he
can
make enough money to?
yeah, men can make up for their looks in other ways.
yeah, and that's
Women
what
can't.
I'm
Or is he
feeling
funny?
out. He's funny, and that's what it is. He's funny, but I make more money than he does.
Oh, girl.
So
Yeah.
All right, so
Did you guys do a question, or what was that last question?
it's the same one.
yeah, do you think women are saying? And I gave my take, and we kept
Oh,
going.
okay.
what is a pick me man, and is there such a thing? And we'll start with you. What do you think?
A pick me man.
Because apparently a pick me woman is a slur now.
I know, right? Like they want to be chosen. So
I haven't heard that.
a man that wants to be chosen.
You have or haven't heard it? You've never heard it? Oh, a pick me woman is women who seem like they cater to men, like
They're agreeable. They're nice.
Pick me, like I do things for
They'll
my
fix
man.
a plate.
I clean for my man. I make sure I treat my man like a king, and women look at it like
Even like
pick me.
pre-dating, like she's just the woman in the room that's like helping out, and like they're like, oh, she's such a pick me. It's usually like hater women who are saying that about women who are nice to men.
Like girls who are like, oh no, I have to ask my man. Girl, you don't gotta ask your man. The girl who asks her man is considered a pick me.
Being picked by their man.
Interesting.
Right.
Okay.
So pick me man, is that such a thing? What do you think?
I don't know. Is that a gentleman? Like
Yeah,
I'm like,
confused
wait,
too.
like
Now,
opening
explain
doors, courting, like paying for things. Like I guess that would be like on like textbook gentleman. But I guess it would for like from a man's perspective, they'd be like, oh, you're like whipped or you're simping over this
simp.
girl. Yeah, like, but I guess a pick me would be a dude who wants to settle down.
What do you got?
I'm kind of with her on that, but then there's also in my brain I keep seeing like those guys that wear shirts that say I'm a feminist. Like
Oh,
that's kind of where my brain goes.
Oh.
So I don't know, but I think you're right too. Like the guys who do the things that
so like
we
Democrats?
want. Liberal,
Liberal.
Oh, okay.
kind of.
Right.
Allies.
Right. I know some of those.
If I see liberal on a guy's thing, I'm like, he's gonna try and like sexually like oh, you're sexually liberated.
Right.
It's
He has his
fine.
pronouns in
Yeah.
his bio. He, him.
He, them.
If I see a he, him in his thing, it's a no for me.
Right. A
serious.
feminist. I know, right? Standing up for women's rights.
I mean, I think you nailed it, Jessica. I guess you're a nice man. Like, I don't know.
Right? You're like, I like those kind of guys.
I like nice people.
I'll pick
and,
'em.
Yeah, I guess I would pick me too. Because
Right.
I don't know. I feel like being kind and like, it's a loss. Women just want everything to be like, I don't know. Everything's so complicated. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. I would say a pick me man is somebody who's says body count doesn't matter.
Don't you say that?
No. I'm more lenient than most men. I don't care as much as most men. But honestly, a lot of that comes from my liberal ass upbringing. A lot of my thoughts and a lot of shit that I let slide was simply because I was raised the way a lot of minorities are raised, which is that the white man's out to get you. Black people have setbacks. It's harder for you to do everything. That men and women are equal. Like I believed all that shit. Even starting this poly thing with her, like when we first got into it, I was like, yeah, I mean, because I've been with women who cheat, so it's not like I don't like it doesn't happen. You know what I mean? I've been with married women. You know what I mean? So I'm going to sit there and think that a woman's incapable of it. It's because of what society has made me believe was normal. And when we first started, I was open to the idea of her being with other men. It wasn't until I realized, like, no, it's not the same. That would be fine if I was looking for an equal financially, intellectually, leadership wise, all those things. If I was looking for an actual partner, like when you go into business, you guys are both bringing the same amount of shit to the table. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? In relationships, typically that's not the case. It's extremely transactional. You're bringing what the other person needs. You see what I'm saying? And I think that a lot of women miss that today in relationships is you don't need to be exceptional like him. You need to be exceptional to him because you're asking for a lot in a man. He's not asking for that in you. So because I'm paying bills, because women do not sleep with men the same way men sleep with women, like, because you guys are selective about who you sleep with, it would not be the same for her to go sleeping around with other men because she'd have to like him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's not just physical.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right. On top of that, she could also just be doing it all day, every day. As a man, it doesn't matter how attractive I become. I could be in the best shape ever. I could be a millionaire. I'm still going to get turned down or put through more hoops to get sex than she would by simply saying, hey, you want your dick sucked? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's not the same. It just isn't the same. So when people sit there and like, well, why can't she sleep with other men? Because she could do it all fucking day, every day. We're not the same. And on top of that, I'm paying for this house and I'm paying for the car she fucking drives. There's no way in hell you're going to use my car that I pay for and not the gas that I put in to go fuck somebody else. Like, it's just not happening. You know what I mean? And then get sent back. How am I winning in that situation? But it took unlearning what I had learned to understand that. I was one of those liberals and male feminists before all of this shit. Not even gonna act like I wasn't. But
Getting a different tax bracket, you act different.
yeah, for real. No, like, honestly, just being in business for myself gave me a whole lot of Republican views that I didn't have before. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Because like when you're the one taking all the risk and you're the only one who's responsible for the income, like you understand, like, whoa, you want me to give half this shit back? I didn't work harder than I was working at my paycheck job to give you half this shit back. You're high.
Right?
So anyway,
Provide for me to be like just as dominant.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Right?
makes some sense.
Pay
Right.
for her to go around and sleep with people. And
Right?
Just
You need to clean half this
buy him
house
lunch.
and like
real.
divide the fucking chores and shit.
Yeah. So anyway,
Feminism.
how did we get there?
I asked
Oh, the
if
pick me
you were
man?
if you had been a pick me.
Or not if I had. Well, I don't think I. Well, I guess I had been. Yeah. But I would say that it's a because you want to be a gentleman, but you want to be a gentleman to women who earn it. You want to be like today. Before it was the norm because we understood that men and women were different. By being a gentleman today, that's even proving to women that we're different because there's no such thing as a gentlewoman. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's not
no,
finna
there's
open up no car doors and she's not going to pull out your chair. She's not going to offer to pay all of these things. You want preferential treatment, but you want to be treated as an equal. That doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's like chivalry is selective now. Like, she has to show you that she's willing to let you lead and willing to be a woman around you instead of challenge you and compete with you on everything. Like,
Right.
if that's what a man wanted, then he would be single and just continue to go to work.
I know
at the
women
end-
are like ruining men. They're like
Yeah.
chivalrous, and then they're being put on TikTok because they're.
Yes.
he showed up with
Yes.
flowers. Ick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's
Then it's like,
disgusting.
am I gonna get embarrassed for
It's disgusting.
chivalry?
Yeah, it really is. I always say that women are the root. Like, I hate saying this, but we are the root of the problems right now because women they need to tap into that feminine energy and like I don't know.
I don't think women were taught to be ladies.
No, they weren't, and just being soft and that masculinity is like not something we were supposed to carry.
It's interesting because a lot of people were raised by single moms, and the men are growing up to be like more feminine, and then the women are growing up to be more masculine, and it's really backwards. And I don't understand how you are capable of teaching a man to be more feminine than your daughter.
Because
Well,
you got to look
it's
at it. You got to
because-
look at it like this. School is like 80% female with the staff. Being raised without a positive male role model because women do feel they're equal to a man, or at least they leave relationships a lot faster now because it's like, well, I make my own money and I have my own house. I
can
don't
do
need
it. I
you.
can do it.
You know, so it's not that they're teaching those boys to be feminine. It's that they're not men, so they don't know how to teach them man things. So that boy, his first response to adversity and frustration is handling it the way a woman would handle it because that's his example. You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But then there's women, like the girls, like, so let's say there's like a set of kids, like twins, boy and girl. The boy is turning out to be more feminine than his twin sister, and it's like
Exactly. My bad. Because as a woman, you have to pick up masculine tendencies being alone, because you have to push that energy out in order to succeed. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Most men don't have to pick up feminine tendencies to be independent. You know what I mean? They just are growing up with feminine tendencies because of their examples. But when men and women break up, men don't just pick up more feminine roles. You know what I mean? They're not more emotional. They're not.
I understand.
You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. What were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say that, like, in a perfect world, and again, like, I was a single mom. I'm a single mom. You know what I mean? I mean, I'm in a relationship now, but it's fresh. Mm-hmm. So the problem is as a single mother, you, like he said, because you're out there, you're working, you're hustling, and you're having to discipline, and you're having to do both jobs, and that's where women fail when they're single moms. It's not their fault. They're doing the best they can, but they're not intended to impart masculinity into their children. They're supposed to still stay soft and nurturing and loving, and only impart that into their children. And no matter what, that void is going to be there from them not having their father. Like, it's going to be there no matter what. And all you can do as a single mom is introduce them to men to give them those, you know, like coaches. Not like a guy you're dating, but like coaches, like teachers, like good
positive male role models.
Yeah, you have to introduce them, because otherwise they'll still have that void from not having their father, but at least they'll know how to handle the world as a man. Because, like, even raising boys, I've had to look at them and be like, I'm not a man. I don't know how the world is gonna take you. I can give you advice, but it's not gonna be the best advice because I'm not a man. Mm-hmm. Like, all I can do is support you and, like, be here on the emotional side and do what a mother does, but I can't impart that masculinity into you. You have to find on your own. And unfortunately, if there's not a father in their life at all, then it makes it even more difficult for women. And then that's why men end up they don't know how to navigate life, because men, like, if you have a little girl or a little boy, the men impart your confidence and your purpose. That's what the father does. And then the mother imparts the emotional and the loving and how to handle, like, that's what they're for, to make you feel safe. Okay. So when you're lacking one of those parents, that's why we're broke. We're in a broken generation, because there was way too many. And so now that's why I feel like the dating world is so imbalanced, because women are just carrying this masculine energy now, and especially that feminine movement that's like, we can be like men. Why would you want to be like a man? You know? That's where we're at.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I forgot what I was going to say. Never mind.
It's funny that you see women, like, carry it like a badge of honor sometimes. Like, oh, well, I can handle my own. But they...
Getting themselves Father's Day gifts.
Right. Yeah. But they're so resentful. It's like, you can't be resentful for this badge that you're wearing, like this award you think that you're earning, like being masculine. It's...
But also by picking a fucking shitty person to be the father of your kid. You know what I mean?
Or not even that, but, like, when... Just even, like, dating, or if you're single or no kids, like, it's like, oh, I can do for myself and this, that. Like, it's like this... Yeah, like, I'm hyper masculine, and it's like... You don't have to be. Like, I understand there's things that have probably, like, sculpted you into that, but if you wear it as a badge of honor, like, why are you acting so shitty about it?
In my early 20s, I was definitely the person that was like, because I've been a single mom since I was like 18,
yeah.
19. I was always like, oh, it's fine, I got this, I can do this. I'm tired.
Right, you're like, I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, I've been tired for years.
Sucks.
Yeah,
and I had to go, like, to therapy to unlearn a lot of those behaviors and to realize it's okay to say I need help. It's okay to say, like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Mm-hmm. Right, like, I'm the woman.
To be perfectly honest, if the feminism and sexual liberation thing wasn't so strong and scammed women into being whores and all this other stuff, a lot of women would have a much easier life where they've got a man who's taking care of things, maybe not like extravagantly, but he's handling his business, he's raising those children, he's there for you. Yeah, he's providing. He may not see, the thing is like there's that vision of providing today is we go on 4 trips a year as a family and a couple on our own, and
the weddings and all the
you pay all the bills, and I get to go shopping all the time. Like that's not realistic, but that's what women today think that they deserve without putting in. You can have it, you know what I mean, but you have to earn that, you know what I mean? But when it comes to being a single mom with those boys and girls, it's like you were saying, you're like, I'm not a man, I don't know what to do, or I can give you some advice, but that's why a lot of women tend to let their sons stay with them longer, because you know that the world don't give a fuck about them. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So when a man is a loser, no one fucking cares. We all see it. When you see a able-bodied bum, all you see is disrespect. Mm-hmm. You have zero respect for that person, and you know, unless they just seem completely crazy, or you know, a vet or something like that. Yeah. Your sympathy is very low. You know what I mean? Because it's a man. You're more so scared, especially as a woman, when you see a homeless man bothering you, asking you for money. But as a woman, like that's why homelessness doesn't affect women the way it does men. Because if you've got a vagina, somebody's going to let you sleep with them. You know what I mean? So that's why a lot of single women kick their daughters out at 18, especially if she's being a little fast ass. Like, go be fast with them then. Let them take care of you. You're not going to do that shit under my roof. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no burden of performance for a woman to have certain things. It's just in our biological nature. We're so different. And I'm so tired of people trying to...
It used to be the other way around, right?
Meaning?
Like, boys were out at 18 to go make a living, and like girls stayed home longer to like be groomed for their
but that's because they weren't. That's because they weren't on no hoe shit.
Yeah, their fathers
had to like give them away.
And the fathers were involved, so that
men
you know,
were men at like 15.
Right.
They had skills.
I know,
they
were working on cars
14,
and
15, they were becoming men.
Fucking on a ranch.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I like that boy next door. Even though it's annoying that his car's revving all fucking night, but he's always in the garage working on his shit. He's like 16.
Yeah.
He's like
see,
16.
That's awesome. Yeah, see? And it's just, that's why it ends up just like, that's why there's so much softness.
There's a teenager who works at the store across from my house. He's like, it's his family's business, but he goes in every weekend. He's like 14. He's in there, and I mean, he's so professional. And he's like, yeah, if I work here long enough, they're going to give me the store. And I'm like, we need to do this in our culture, because this little boy is out here making bread. And then you see like the kids on the elotes cart with their father, like slinging corn and stuff. Like, that's going to be his corn cart. And then when he gets older, and he has skills, and he knows how to make money at like 12.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of cultures, I mean, it's so crazy how different the rest of the world is. They have traditional gender roles. They work harder earlier. And the thing is the extravagance of social media isn't their norm. So it's not even what they're looking for. You know what I mean? Shit, I get to a point where I'm like, is all of this necessary? You know what I mean? But yeah, it is. Fuck that. I like this shit.
And I was about to say, you got a Leo moon. You ain't never gonna.
Yeah, I like that shit. All right, let's have some fun. What's worse, him cheating and having a baby, or him cheating with a man? And we'll start with you, Ashley. Hit him. You can go first.
Since you got your degree, you know every fucking thing.
I would say, for me personally, I would be more offended or hurt, I guess, if it was he had a baby with another person. Because if he was having sex with another man, I would just be like, damn, you've been living a sad life without the dick, if that's what you wanted, you know? Like, that's the way I feel.
Right?
I have a lot of gay friends, so it's like, if they were having to hide in the closet and sleep with a woman their whole life, they would be really miserable. So it doesn't matter if she's hot or not, you know?
Right.
So I would feel so more sorry in that situation.
Right.
The other one, I would probably, I wouldn't be able to forgive the other one.
That's a great perspective.
I probably,
I don't know. I think they would both hurt a lot, but if I got cheated on for a man, that would hurt me to the core. Like, that's what's wrong with me? What's wrong with me? Like, literally, that's how I would think in my head. But cheating with a woman and then accidentally getting her pregnant, like, I'm more likely to help you raise that child than to like be hurt. I mean, we'd have to have a lot of conversations and stuff like that, but yeah.
What about you? What about you, Toots?
I mean, I'm definitely not trying to be no like Usher confessions and like I got another bitch pregnant. But I mean, you sleep with other women, so that's a consequence of doing that. I would be, and I know,
Protected.
yeah, and I know, but I'm like, ooh, I don't know, because I know that you would take care of it. But if you cheated on me with a man,
Oh, that's not happening.
I know it wouldn't, but I'm just saying the alternative. I guess I would just
Don't
be like,
use
why
me as the example, just in general.
Okay, if I was in a relationship with someone and they wanted to sleep with a man, I would be like, why couldn't you have talked to me about this? Like about either. So I think I would just be hurt either way. Like, why would you try to keep this from me and not just be like, hey, I really want to explore this, or hey, I fucked up and got this girl pregnant. I don't know. I guess I'm like indifferent because either way, I think it goes back to I want you to be able to talk to me about everything, even if it like hurts, because like the truth hurts. We want to be told these like pretty like you only have eyes for me, and I'm never gonna even I'm never even gonna look, But that's not the way the world works. So
Well, to your point,
So
though,
the man one would bother you?
the man one would if you felt like you had to keep it from me.
well, and I think in your situation, because you guys are in a semi-open relationship, him getting a girl pregnant, I don't think he would hide that from you.
Yeah.
But I think that him liking dudes on the low would
Yeah.
be like, well, we should have had this conversation 3 kids
Simple
ago.
as
Right.
2 kids ago.
Right.
Shut up.
Right. I don't really see anything like, I mean, of course, men are like, nah, never. Like, I would never, straight men. Straight women and straight men are like, nope, strictly dickly or strictly whatever. And so if something did happen, I'd be like,
It's 2024.
Why
you
the
should be
fuck
confident
you
enough to
lie?
come out if you're,
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's so accepted now. It's not like it's back in the early.
It doesn't make it easy.
I know that. I have
Right.
a lot of
Nah, it
gay
doesn't make it
friends.
easy. I have a
But-
lot of friends that are still in the closet and only
Right.
sleep with guys that are, straight and married, and
Right.
it's complicated. It's hard. It's that's
because then they're like kept a secret and
it's a
shit.
totally different. Yeah, that's real complicated.
I have a lot of like gay friends that share a different perspective, but I also understand that it's not the same for everybody. But I think that with it being 2024 and it being more accepted, before you get into a relationship with a woman and you know full on that you like men, you should have that conversation with her, especially if you like them both. Like,
But it's
give
an
her
inner. It's usually like inner though. You know what I mean? Like they're battling their own thing. They're not accepting and loving themselves and wanting.
See,
to
I'm a
accept
nosy
every day,
bitch.
you know?
Like I will ask every single question in the book, and I just want people to be straight with me. Like I like
Yeah.
the truth, and so from like jump, I'm like, tell me about your childhood. Like I'm like, I'm over here like
Yeah.
courting
What's your
and
deepest
vetting women,
secret?
and
Yeah.
I know straight from jump. And so if it was
Yeah.
like, hey, we've had like 47,000 conversations, and that has definitely got brought up, and now you've explored it.
Yeah.
So if you would have just, been like, hey, have a little itch that I need to scratch, you know?
Yeah,
what about that
absolutely.
one situation on I think it's like TikTok or Instagram where he was experimenting in college, and then when he was like getting married, he told his fiance like, oh yeah, I slept with a few guys back in the day I was experimenting. It's like, you knew, right? You should have said something to me. If you've been like sexually intimate with men, I'm not going to judge you. And if you think I'm going to judge you, why are you with me? That's one thing. But for another thing, it's like, you didn't even give me the choice. Some women are okay with dating bisexual men. A lot of women aren't. If you know that I'm not that kind of person, don't bring it to the place where we have kids and we're about to get married. And then you're like, oops, I slipped when I fell in a butthole. Like, no. Like, no.
I just feel like a lot of people are scared to be like authentic.
Yeah.
If a man told you that he likes boy butt from the beginning, are you gonna date him?
Someone who's bisexual.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never dated someone bisexual, but I don't know if I would have a problem with someone that's bisexual. I don't know.
Personally, I feel like I couldn't have a problem because I'm bisexual.
Yeah,
So
like I just feel like people like what they like.
I'm definitely going to say I'm a hypocrite in that. that sense.
Right.
Yep.
I mean, I know it's not the same, but I'm just saying, like, I wouldn't be like rude about it. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like, I'd
Most
just be like,
definitely.
this is my preference.
But the first reaction for most women is absolutely not. I'll never fuck a guy that's fucked with other dudes. And so, of course, that's when men even more scared to admit that they're bisexual or that they're gay if they're interested in a
That's a
woman.
valid point.
Yeah, they're gonna hide that shit.
Yeah.
Because women being bisexual is like, woo!
I know, right?
Everybody's excited.
I mean, you'd be surprised. There's definitely
but-
some, you know,
I've had men
God-fearing
who didn't
men.
like me
Yeah,
because I
yeah,
like
yeah.
women.
Well, yeah, God, that makes sense.
they're
That
just
makes
like,
sense.
you're the devil.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I'm saying
Yeah.
more accepted for sure. More accepted.
I don't have anything to say about that.
I've just seen it go. Like I've seen it happen to somebody, and it not to put her business out there, but it ruined their life.
Yeah.
So, I thought about it, bitch.
Yeah, and it would ruin my life too. If I was married with kids and I came home and he was banging somebody.
I'd just be like, hey, can we just like not tell anybody about that?
Yeah. We just pretend you could have your boyfriend on the side.
Right.
We just won't see each other.
Don't take
no,
pictures with your new family either.
You would have to come into our house because you're not going to sneak out and see. No, that's how you get caught. Like,
Hell no. I'd be like, you ain't bringing that dude up in my
I mean,
house.
if you're gonna accept it, then accept it. But if you're not gonna accept it, then bye
I'd
bye.
be like, being a grown up, get a hotel.
That's how people see things. Like
Right.
I saw your man with someone named Manuel.
I'd be like, that's none of my fucking business. Didn't happen in my house. I'd be like, you should mind your own business.
What would make it worse if he was with a man, if he was a top or a bottom?
A bottom.
Yeah, definitely.
Then I really let him down the whole time we were together.
Yeah.
Just getting railed by some dude named Trey.
I don't know though, because then you're sucking poop dick. So it's like, which one are you trying to be? I'm like,
You're right.
go ahead, little bottom.
I mean, technically, but
What
if we're being
more
technical,
do you
though,
want
there's
from me?
men who like anal
Both.
with women too. So
Yeah.
I mean, if he's doing it to Sarah around the corner, and
Right.
coming home, you're still sucking poop dick.
Right. Either way,
guys are gross.
sounds like a shitty situation either way,
I like what you did with that one. There.
right?
One of them said they was gonna tuck my dick from the back. I ain't never had that ever
See what
happen
that's
to me.
like.
I'm trying to see what that meant like.
Anyway, if someone gets out of shape in the relationship, should the other tell them? Let's move on. I'm gonna start with you.
Me?
Yeah.
I think I wanted to ask this question because I remember when I was working, like, you know, I don't know, in my early 20s, we had this conversation and it was like an all-girl
That sounded
environment.
arrogant as fuck. Like when I was working, when I had to. In my early 20s.
No, I don't. No, I was working with a bunch of women and the topic got brought up and I feel like a lot of women stay with men even if they get out of shape, but men won't stay with a woman who gets out of shape. And I understand that like men are more physical, like what they look at, but like some women won't say shit. Like, and I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I would be like, hey, let's go to the gym or let's do something different or incorporate different meals or something. But for someone to just
Oh, wrong
let
one. Go ahead.
let that happen. But I think that if your partner is like, I don't know, if that's part of your morals, values, as far as like self-improvement and they're going downhill, I think there should definitely be a conversation.
Well, I think there's such like, so when it comes to women allowing their men to get bigger, it's a lot of it's an insecurity thing, like for both parties. So it's like, if he gets big, then I don't have to maintain myself as much. Or if he gets big, they're not going to
Other
want him
women
as
aren't
much.
looking at him?
Yeah, and he's not going to want to leave me because he's not going to have as many options.
So it
But
sounds like an insecure bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you love your partner and if you're secure with your relationship and yourself, you're gonna say, "Hey, babe."
Yeah, so that's why women say
Okay.
they want like, oh, I want to do with a dad bod, because then it like lets them off the hook. They're like, well, at least he don't go to the gym, I don't have to go to the gym. We could do late night snacks all the time, like. But when you're with like a dude that works out,
full of shit.
when you're with a dude who works out, they're like chicken and broccoli and rice, and they're like, fuck, I just want to eat this Snickers
Quinoa.
tonight,
Like, why?
right?
Quinoa again.
They're like,
Okay.
you're ruining my life. You threw away all my snacks.
I'm that bitch.
Right?
That's me.
Right?
Yep, that's me. I like to eat late night snacks.
Hell
But
yeah.
not if
But
I
I
did.
liked it. But I liked it. Yeah, I eat Oreos. I get down on Oreos in my bed.
I got like a nightstand full of candy and shit.
If I feel anything in my bed, I have to get up and take all the sheets off. So no,
Oh yeah.
can't do it.
No, I don't know. I feel like, I mean, as long as you guys like both are still like maintaining your goals and like reaching for what you want, then it's
So if one of them
fine,
gets
but-
like morbidly obese, you're gonna be like, it's whatever.
Oh no, if he's like more, like, all right,
Hey.
okay, let's figure it out. But
Right.
I mean,
Because I know some women are like, don't talk about my weights against the rules.
no.
But like, if I was
my dude
like,
to tell me if I look like shit.
If we're being
Right.
completely honest, when I had a partner who didn't care that I was gaining weight, like I felt like crap. But when I had a partner who was like, "You're getting fat," and like he sent me a picture of myself without me being aware, and I saw how I looked, this is what it came out to be because I fixed it. Like, I fixed it, and I'm so grateful.
all the motivation
Yeah,
you needed.
Yeah, because even though it was like, that's messed up, you didn't have to do me like that, but he kind of did.
Right.
So I appreciated that more than my feelings being coddled for a longer period of time.
Coddled feelings.
Did you answer?
I mean, I said I like snacks. I don't know.
Do you think
You're like,
that-
as
do you-
long
do
as
you-
they're not morbidly obese.
Yeah.
do you think that the other should tell them if one's getting out of shape?
I guess in a nice way. I mean, if I feel like, yeah, because when people are in the gym, if people are
What's a nice way to tell somebody they're getting fat?
What's a nice? Like she said, hey, like I think we should get back in a routine of X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? But I feel like, yeah, if you are with somebody and that's you guys like to go to the gym, you talk about the gym, you work out, whatever, and then they fall off, yeah, you should definitely rehab because that usually is linked to like depression and shit too, anyways. Like something else is going on. If you want to be in the gym and then you stop, there's usually something going on, or unless it's like time management, you know.
I had said that when I was working because a lot of the girls were like out of shape, and I'm like, but you didn't leave your man when he got out of shape. But now your man's talking about, you know, not staying with you. So I mean, I know that men are more like
Visual.
Yeah, visual creatures.
Yeah, well, I would say that most men, even when their wife gets big, but they're gonna start looking elsewhere.
Yeah.
Because, like I said earlier, men can make up for physical attributes in plenty of other ways. Whether they're funny, they have status, they're financially stable, charming, etc. Women can't make up for their bad looks. Like, there's no man ever that is holding a big, ugly woman's hand proudly, saying she's hot because she's hilarious. You know what I mean? Like, you've never said it like, hey, my baby's funny than a motherfucker, y'all.
You never seen her on stage.
Like, not one. You know what I mean? Like, even or a rich woman. You know what I mean? Like, nobody has a poster of Oprah in their fucking room. You know what I'm saying? Not one man.
Maybe
So-
a gay man.
So those things can't be made up for. However, yes, I absolutely think you should say something because you didn't meet them like that, right? That's not what excited you to them in the first place, right? On top of that, what I've noticed most of the time, couples get out of shape together
Yeah.
because you are no longer in competition with anybody else. You have somebody, and you guys get comfortable and lazy. I do think that men need to stick to their purpose first and foremost, always. Like, don't get me wrong, handle your business as a husband and a father or whatever, but your purpose, your woman cannot get in the way of your purpose, because women are soft, women are cozy, women are nurturing, and they can easily knock you off your square because what they're offering while laying on the couch in their pajamas seems like a lot more fun than getting your ass up and going to the gym. You know what I mean? When they want something sweet, I know there's men with sweet tooths, but I don't know if there's any research to back this. I just feel like women have. There's always a dessert. There's always, let's stop and get some ice cream. There's
Sweet
always
treat.
let's
a sweet treat.
Yeah.
Always.
And men fall into that, and I think men indulge heavier in the things that they like than women do. Women have the sweet treat, but they rarely finish it.
It's like too much.
Do you like sweets?
Yeah.
I was gonna bring you guys some cinnamon rolls, but I know that he's trying to lose weight, and I didn't know if you liked them. I like baking, so I was gonna. Cause I always
Next
come over
time.
Here, so next time.
Right,
okay.
next time,
Yeah,
yeah.
I wouldn't have ate them. It kind of sucks doing this fucking
Yeah.
challenge that I'm doing because I be seeing shit. Like, there's so much chocolate in that cabinet right now that I just can't have.
You're gonna
And-
get there, and then you'll maintain, and then you'll be able to.
Nah, I'm. It even though it sucks, I'm kind of digging the route that I'm on. Like
You feel
I
good?
said, well, yeah, because like it feels.
Tell the people what you're doing.
I will. It feels stronger to know that there's chocolate in that cabinet, even though it's dark chocolate. It's healthier chocolate. I did that on purpose. You know what I mean?
Right.
But to go grab an apple, you know what I mean? Like it's
So good to.
Yeah.
So the
it's-
self-discipline feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. It feels like a win more so than the chocolate. Same thing with the alcohol. Me not drinking anymore. Like the celebration of a drink used to be the win, but now it's like, no, I don't want it. You know what I mean? Like cheers, but this is
My water.
cheers, bud. Anyway, I definitely think that you should say something, and you should, and as a man, first and foremost, as long as you're staying on your shit, she's gonna do it too. You are the leader. You are the example. You are the role model. You are who she trusts to keep her safe. And if you don't look like you can defend yourself, she's not gonna feel safe. So you need to stay in the gym. You need to stay active. You need to brush up on some type of martial art. You need to have some type of training to defend yourself. And if you do that, she's gonna follow in stride, just like your kids are gonna follow in stride. Like, you're not doing anybody a favor by being lazy. You're not doing your family a favor. You're not doing her a favor. And if
Yourself a favor.
you're not doing yourself a favor. You're not doing anybody a favor by being lazy. Like, I know the gym is hard. I'm doing it. We're all doing it. I'm not where I want to be, but I'm on my journey there. It's hard. I've been fat too. That's hard. Like, having to hold your breath to tie your shoes is hard. You know what I mean? Not being able to do what you want. Why? Because you got lazy. You got so engulfed in experiences, and none of those experiences got you anywhere. Debt and fat and lazy and not where you want to be. So why continue to do those things when every time you're staying disciplined, staying focused, and going towards your purpose, everything gets better. Everything gets better. Sex gets better. More money is made. You look better. You honestly are going to get a lot better behavior from the woman that you're with, because she knows this is a fucking catch. Other bitches are looking. I don't want to let this go. Why? Like she said, you know what I mean? Like, if he's getting out of shape, I don't have to worry about other women looking at him. If he, and then I don't have to do it myself, right? But if she knows that there ain't nothing stopping you from leaving her, do you think she's going to be a headache? It's called leverage. That's the point and the reason you need to work hard as a man. It's like being the star player on one of these professional teams. People get mad, like, oh, where's the loyalty to the franchise and all this other stuff. I'm like, no, that's my fucking leverage. I earned it. I'm better than everyone else who does this, so I expect to be paid that way. No one else is going to offer me this. So I'm giving you an opportunity as my franchise, the team that I play for, to give it to me, or I'm going to go seek it elsewhere. You see what I'm saying? That's the whole point. And it's not just sports. So you have leverage. That's the point. You want to win. That is what life is about. You want to win. It's arrogant to think that you can do this shit later. You're not promised tomorrow. So yes, you should tell your fucking partner that they're getting out of shape. And as a man, you should be focused on getting that done yourself. That's all I've got to say.
Mic drop.
All right. How much? What time? We're about an hour. Cool. We don't have to go much longer. Let's end it with this. We'll do these last two questions and then we can bounce. In honor of Valentine's Day coming up, I want to know what is the nicest gift you've given. Not necessarily Valentine's Day, just in general. And we'll start with you. Did you go first last time, or did you?
She went first last time.
She did. Mm-hmm. So you.
The nicest gift I received. I was seeing somebody that took me to Ireland for my birthday.
What?
Damn.
We were together for 5 years, so.
Nice.
But yeah, he took me to Ireland. That was number one on my bucket list too. So that was probably the nicest gift I've ever received. Nicest thing I've ever given. I don't know. Probably.
You ain't take nobody to Ireland.
No, but I did take my ex to Atlanta. I said I was gonna go see his family, so I hadn't met his family yet, and I arranged it like behind his back, and then took him and surprised him. So I guess that would probably be one of the most.
Little things go a long way with a man, to be honest. But
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. I don't know. And then like I mean, I got my boyfriend. He installs windows and does stuff on houses and stuff. So I got him a table saw for his birthday.
oh shit, nice.
What's his sign?
His sign?
What's that got to do with anything?
Oh, I just wanted to know because she's in a fresh new relationship as a Sag.
Oh,
It's a good match. You guys are both like young, wild, and free.
don't deter the conversation.
So I think it's not like expensive or anything, but the best gift I've ever received was my ex-boyfriend painted a picture of me and my daughter who passed away together. And then he made a poem for us. Like he wrote a poem, and then he also painted another photo of me and my 2 kids, which is my daughter and my son, together. That was really nice. And the best thing I think I've ever got somebody, the only 2 things I could think of is I paid for a guy to start his business.
Damn.
And I also bought my other ex-boyfriend a car so he can.
A car?
Yeah, it was a Tahoe. I bought a Tahoe. He's 6'8", so he needed a big truck to get back and forth to work.
Too much.
I did. Yeah, it's the guy who cheated on me with the stud.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, she was definitely good at hoop. No, I'm just kidding. If he was 6'8".
Fuck that.
Yeah. That's it.
That's great.
Won't do that again.
What about you?
Yeah. Don't buy anybody a car.
He needed to get to work, so.
The nicest thing I ever got was, I mean, there's been a bunch, but when I got back from a retreat, was it a retreat? I came home to Sound Bowls for like an early Mother's Day present or something, or I got back from somewhere and there was Sound Bowls. And then I always grew up with this like big old laptop. And Troy got me a MacBook. Like, he just surprised me with it. So I was all crying because I was like, I felt like fucking Elle Woods with like this huge ass fucking dinosaur laptop. Like, when she has like the big old thing. And I was like, I just want like a MacBook. Like, everyone, he's like, they're not even in anymore. And I'm like, did I miss it? Like, because I could never afford like Fat Farms when everybody was wearing them, or I couldn't afford like certain things. Right? But yeah, the Sound Bowls, my MacBook.
I mean, this house. I really thought you were gonna say this house.
Right, this house. That was a good one too. I definitely had to fight for that one.
She wouldn't let that shit go.
I was like, please, I'll do whatever I need to do.
She hasn't held up that end of the bargain at all.
Whatever.
There's a whole garden on the side that I said, if I'm getting it, you need to maintain that garden and grow his vegetables.
Nah, whatever.
I got some seeds at the house.
It's
a bunch
dead.
of seeds.
Hell yeah.
It is dead.
What was the nicest thing I ever gave you? I feel like one time I threw him a surprise party with all his friends to surprise him at his dad's house, and like I made food for everyone and drinks, but one time I got him this lunchbox that we talk about, and it like, it was like one of those like it's like whatever, the thought that counts.
Yeah.
But $1,000 bump box that you needed. I mean, he usually just buys shit for himself, so it's like hard to like shop for him. But buying him, stuff to buy him that like he actually needs. Why are you laughing?
Keep nothing. Go ahead.
What was the nicest thing I've gotten you before?
No, we're not talking about me right now.
I want to know what you think is the nicest.
I'll answer it when it's my turn.
Okay, I'm done then.
Oh shit.
Is it that funny?
Yeah, it's that funny. It's just so funny, the difference in, and that's why it just makes me laugh at like women and this whole equality thing. You're not part of the problem. This has nothing to do with you, but it's just so funny to listen to it. Like she went polar opposite and was doing way too fucking much.
Yeah,
This one
like,
got Ireland.
that's
This one got
crazy.
Ireland, and in comparison, Atlanta was the thing. You know what I mean? This woman behind me has gotten 2 vehicles bought for her.
Oh, yeah.
And a fucking house.
My-
And she's over here talking about a MacBook and some sound bowls. and
Now I see
The
why
car
he's
was
laughing.
really nice. He just called me at work and he's like, hey, on your way home, you need to drop off the car that you're in, which was the one I was paying for. And he's like, I bought you a car. You just have to trade it in. And I was like, what? Like my car, you know, because it was like my little Honda Civic. I was like, oh my God. And then he just got me this other one. But I mean, those are great. Those are the nice, you know, they're nice.
But it's the thought. It's
no,
Yeah.
really
no,
the
that,
thoughtful,
I
yeah.
think in general though the MacBook was the one that
I cried over that one.
hit the heart because of how broke she was in college with her fucking her laptop was this damn big.
Oh, Lord.
It was like thick. I had like the battery pack on the back. Like it was probably like that. Like just
Her laptop was this thick.
she was a thick girl.
Anyway,
I bet you had like, really great storage though, right?
yeah, she had
I don't know. It was a fucking Dell, bro.
she had dial up and a fucking in a lecture hall.
Stupid. Can you just say what yours is?
So she can know what it was.
Right?
I really did like that lunchbox. That was pretty cool.
Because then I made him food like I packed his lunch every night for work the next day.
That. It was more so like she said, I buy everything that I want on my own. So I'm impossible to shop for, and I don't expect anybody to buy me anything anyway. That being said, the things that she has gotten for me are things that I didn't think about that added to what I was already trying to do. So I was on a prior fitness journey. It's fucking fluctuating because I just always wanted to go back to drinking, but that shit's done. So anyway, that being said, at the time I was like in a routine, trying to eat and all this other stuff, and I had my work schedule and everything. And she bought this lunchbox that had like portion control, meal things, and I thought it was really fucking cool because I would have never thought to get that. I was just winging it, but it made things easier, and I thought it was really cool. Yeah,
What was the nicest thing you got for someone?
I just said it.
The house and the
we're-
car?
we're
2
sorry.
cars?
We're sitting in it.
We're sitting in it.
Jesus
These
Christ.
She gave you your children. You know,
I was waiting for.
I gave her those children.
Yeah.
Couldn't do this shit without me.
I mean, they're all right. They're the nicest thing he's given me.
Yeah, and they're little assholes. So they need more than she does.
I knew this was the house. I was like, oh my God, please.
But anyway, okay.
Okay.
In relationships, like current or prior, what's one thing you could improve on? And we'll start with you, Jessica.
In prior relationships,
You're in one now or in prior relationships.
one thing I can work on.
Yeah. If you were in a relationship, current or prior, what is one
Being
thing?
fucking annoying.
Yeah.
Like just talking a lot. Just like asking dumbass questions just to like make conversation. Like, I don't know, men and women are different and men don't. Like we were listening to something earlier that was like, if you scan like a woman in a man's brain, like what does a man think of 30 minutes a day and what does a woman think of 30 minutes a day? And a man thinks about sex or sports and a woman thinks about conversations that were had in the
Replay
past.
Conversations.
But men don't replay conversations. And yeah, I just think that I could be fucking annoying. And just like I said, I like ask 1,000 questions. I'm like, hey, I'm all up under you. Let's just talk. Let's be fucking best friends. It's like, it's like that best friend that you're like, hey, you're kind of annoying, but I love you.
yeah.
I think that's pretty much all girls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think,
That's kind of where I'm about to go with it too.
yeah, something I can improve on is just minding my business more. And like not like having someone else to talk to. Because you make your man your everything, and then it's like, hey, girl, they're not supposed to be everything.
Yeah, you still have to have your girlfriend.
Yeah.
You still have to have your.
But you gotta have the right girlfriends.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
really I have like one.
No, it's hard,
We can be friends.
Right,
It's hard.
right.
especially out here.
We got them
It's
sister
crazy.
wounds. Yeah.
It's crazy out here for sure.
What about you?
I mean, honestly, I've been single for so long. It's,
How long has it been now?
I mean, if you want to be technical, it's been a few months, but that was like me and my child's father trying to work things out.
Oh, okay.
But I honestly think
I was single for 5 years, girl.
no, to be realistic though,
Yeah.
it's been a while. Because even that, I was waiting for the shoe to drop, and it dropped. But I think more so of me learning to, I don't know how to say this. I don't open up very easily. I'm pretty much used to being by myself, and that's something I had to work on. Is like being open to somebody like caring about me and believing them when they say that. That's more so of it. Like I'm always like, but do you really?
I'm guessing.
Yes. Thank you. That's second guessing people. Yes, 1,000%.
I get that. That's where I was too before I found somebody. Yeah, I understand that. That's honestly what my biggest problem is just being vulnerable. It's scary.
Very scary.
It is. It's scary after being single for so long. And I mean, I dated, but it wasn't. It just.
Not like opening up your heart.
No, because I knew the people I was meeting. It wasn't like every day I went, I'm like, nope. Like that, I just knew because I got into a place where I knew what I wanted and needed for my future, if that makes sense. So, but now, like, opening up and being vulnerable and being soft and trusting somebody is hard for sure.
Especially when you have kids. Like, it's hard to trust that the person is who they say they are, who they're presenting to be.
Exactly.
And that's where I'm like,
exactly. And then because you have to guard yourself, but also you have to guard your kids, period.
Do you think a lot of women self-sabotage because of that?
yes,
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah, yeah. That's why earlier when you asked if women choose to be single, I think single moms do because they protect their kids. Because you have to. It's not just you. It's not just like how it is when you're just young and like by yourself. You can date all you want. And
This
you
is
can
gonna
land somebody
sound
quick,
rude, but do you think that having kids kind of disqualifies you from the type of man that you want?
From my experience, it has, yes. It has for me, 1,000%.
I think that especially out here in the city, I think people look at you like it's baggage.
Yep,
It's
burden.
a burden. It's a bad thing. It's
I mean,
a
well, think about it.
negative
Think
thing
about it
for
from
sure.
think about it from this standpoint. Let's say you are a single woman. You're extremely successful. You're beautiful. You've worked hard for everything you have, and you meet a man with 2-3 different kids with 2 or 3 different baby mamas. Is he your first choice?
No.
Yeah. No, it's the
I
same
understand
thing.
it.
So regardless of city or not, like, would that be your first choice?
No.
So that's what I'm saying. I mean, I understand choosing, yes, because you have to protect your children, but also it's not like extremely valuable options are
That's why you remain,
being their first
but that's
choice.
why you remain single. If
No,
you're a mom,
well, that's what I'm saying because
yeah.
that was my point when I said it. I said that women aren't single by choice; they're
okay, I get
single
what you mean,
because they
because they
don't
can't.
qualify for the type of guy that they want.
I mean, I feel like, yeah, it just depends on the man because, yeah, if you have a single bachelor, like, it depends on what you want, first of all. It depends on what you're
Well, that's what I'm
chasing in a
saying. I just put you in that
relationship.
man's shoes. Do you think that man wants a woman with children if he doesn't have any and he has everything going
That's
for
what I'm saying.
himself?
If there's a man that has a ton of money, no, absolutely not. Like, that's what he's driven towards, like, being successful. If he's more of a family man, it's different. You can date family men, but if you can have babies too.
I mean,
you know?
even
family man.
Yeah.
driven and successful men end up being family men. I think most men want to pass on their legacy.
But they want to like that. They want that to be their child. Like, it's harder for a man to love another person's child.
Yeah, I mean that's because that's a lot.
Just like
That's a lot to ask.
Women, it's easier. With single dads, women are like flocking to them. You know what I mean? But single moms, because they're like, oh my God, he's so sweet, he's so great.
Single dads only have single moms flocking to them because women, like you said,
single fathers don't have the same baggage that single mothers do.
I feel
for a couple reasons, because if a man has children, that means that especially if there's more than one woman that allowed him to do it. That means that he's desirable no matter the children, right? That he's accomplished something. You know, because women don't want a man that other women don't want.
Mm-hmm. Which is true to a certain extent, though. But I know a lot of women who are like, "Girl, I won't date a guy with kids because they don't want to have to deal with baby mamas or they can't, like, I don't want to deal with those kids, especially if they don't have kids and they're out here living their best life and they want to go travel. Well, a man who has kids isn't gonna want to travel with you, and that's what I hear from a lot of these women who don't have.
For sure, the women that are saying that though are talking about men in their tax bracket. In their range, but there's not a woman on the planet right now that is looking at Drake. I can't do it.
Exactly.
Can't do it.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? There's 8 women who looked at Nick Cannon and said, "Fuck it."
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's double standards. It's double standards. It is, and it is because it's. No, I'm just saying, like, that's another thing that makes us different. Is like a man's gonna look at that and be like, oh my gosh, that's a lot that I didn't do. You know, like, I'm not the one who had that baby, so like I don't want to raise somebody else's kids. I want to start my own family. I want to
pay for.
Well, it's more so that because for something that somebody else, now in your situation, their father passed, correct? Mm-hmm. So that you have an out. I mean, that's a huge out for a lot of women. Is if the father passed, we're not gonna penalize you for that. That was
it still does, you know, it makes it very difficult. That's why I sympathize with, you know, like, it is harder when you're a single mom versus single dads. They don't have a problem. They could get a 22-year-old like that will stop living her best life to become mommy. Like, they can do that like that. But getting a woman, getting a single bachelor, like, say he's like going on, if you want someone that's like striving for success and money and all those things, like, they're not going to stop what they're doing to.
I mean, it's in more of a woman's nature to like nurture, and men, you know, biologically want like their own seed.
They want to keep spreading.
And if it's someone else's, they're kind of like, why is this
we'll
one
do
not,
it. We'll
why
do
is
it
this
if
one
she's
not
bad
here?
enough and the father isn't involved.
Yeah.
Or heavily involved.
That's
or,
what I was just
you know what I mean?
Because then, there's like competition. It's like, why do I have to deal with this other man?
It's not necessarily competition. It's just that, you know, if that...
Biologically speaking.
It's much more, I mean, that while raising, because I'm going to have to pick up the burden of helping raise this child. I'm going to have to pay for things that kid's dad should be doing. You see what I'm saying? So if he's heavily involved, it definitely is going to be more difficult for that man to do it, unless the mother makes it clear his dad got him. You don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? If she does that, then he's gonna be like, fine. I'm not whooping him. I'm not disciplining him. I'm not buying him shit. And if this is a me and you thing, and these kids are just here, great. But especially if that dad's there. But then they also have to have that conversation. That man and that man have to have that conversation and figure out how that goes. You know what I mean? But if the man is completely non-existent, that's not as difficult for a man to step in and be like, well, if I can claim this child as my own, if I'm the only man that this child knows, then yes, I can take that on if I'm in love with you and want to build with you, especially depending on when and how it happened. You know what I mean? Like, unfortunately, in today's generation, it isn't expected for a woman who got pregnant at a very young age, 16, 17, 18, 19, to be married for the rest of her life. You know what I mean? So you do give a woman an out if she had it very young, because she was probably young, dumb, influenced, and shit happened. You know what I'm saying? So you don't hold that against her. But if she's 26, 27, got 3-4 different baby daddies and all that other shit, like, you're recreational use only. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what ends up happening for sure to women, for sure. But it's like, it's just the way the world looks at it, you know? Like, that's just the way it is. It makes it more difficult.
For sure.
All right. Well, last thoughts. And I want to thank you guys for coming. because got to keep getting this content out. I was watching something the other day. Like Joe Rogan was like 1,000 episodes in before he blew up. You know what I mean? And it's like everybody quits when the going gets tough, like right before the breakthrough happens. And regardless of the subscribers, my subscribers are going up. I'm really liking that. But you know, this is a lot more work than I expected it to be. So I really, really appreciate everybody, you guys for coming, and everybody else who has come to be on the show. And if you want to come back, please come back because it's fun. We're having these conversations. I know I sound like an asshole, but you guys get two different versions of me. Like the guy that you see when you walk through this door and I'm like, hey, how you doing? You need anything to drink? And then the guy who's talking to you on this fucking podcast. And then when we turn this fucking camera off, back to, did you guys have fun? You know, it's like you guys know me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it real. At the end of the day, what my purpose here is to tell you the things that most men won't tell you, so we can get through that barrier of the misunderstanding between each other. Because most men are gonna lie to you just to get some pussy, and yeah, and then most women are delusional as to what they think that they deserve. But either way, appreciate you guys coming on the show. Anybody who's been there, and we're gonna keep doing this. We're just gonna keep doing this because I like doing it. I like talking. It's fun. And yeah, so that being said, last thoughts. What did you think about today's episode? And do you have anything that you think I should add or take away from what we're doing?
Snacks.
Complex question.
Snacks?
I was just kidding.
Imagine
that's
in the
not a bad
mic,
idea.
I was like chewing. You get someone
Right.
that like chews
Oh, yeah.
like a cow.
ASMR videos and shit.
Yeah.
Snacks before or after?
Definitely.
There's
Not
snacks
during.
before sometimes. I mean, it depends on when you get here.
I don't know. Why do I have to go first? Let's see. I feel like we covered a lot of like good topics, especially, I mean, for women. I don't know. Again,
Did you like it? Did you have fun?
Yeah, always. Yeah, it's always a conversation. And as far as taking and leaving, I don't know. I feel like you're doing a good job with it.
Thanks.
I feel like every time it's always a different group of people, different views, different walks of life.
That's the best part.
And
That's why I
that's what's
want
important.
people to come.
Yeah. It's
Like, 'cause-
important to get the different views and the different, because it's not just black and white out there, you know?
Yeah, for sure. My stance on everything is extremely general, but I do understand that people are going to take their personal experiences into however they view everything. You know what I mean? But we do have to incorporate the numbers, the averages, like
absolutely.
on average,
Yeah.
and normally this is how things go.
But what's great is that you have so many different walks of life, like, you know, like so many different people can give out different advice, different views, different things that can help somebody in
That's
that
what
moment, you know?
My like honestly, I only like to debate to see if somebody can change my mind. Not necessarily saying my mind is set. I do have very strong beliefs on a lot of things, but if you can make it make sense, I'm going to have to step back and reevaluate the way I may have looked at something. Mm-hmm. You know, so that's the beauty of having these conversations is there's always going to be somebody who throws a fucking wrench in there that I'm like, I've never looked at it that way.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Now I have some more digging to do, you know? What about you?
I mean, I always have fun when I come on here. I like the conversations we have. And sometimes I get questions answered that, like, even if I already had an answer, I get to either get a new perspective. So that's nice. Quite often, actually. And yeah, I think you're doing something really good here. The snacks I was joking about, but if you want to have snacks before or after, I'm totally down.
You were supposed to bring cinnamon rolls.
Right now it's like, where were they?
I told you there's a lot of chocolate in that cabinet.
Oh no, I just got into the was it the Wonder Club?
The Wonderland?
It's dark
Wonderland.
chocolate and peanut butter, protein packed.
Okay, well after this,
It's alright.
it's all right.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't have anything.
It's like a pseudo snack. It's like if you work out and you want something sweet. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Look at you using big words.
pseudo.
Yeah.
Pseudo. It's like 6 letters.
Whatever.
Can you spell it? Can you
It
spell
starts with a P.
PSE. UDO.
It's
Yeah,
PSUEDO.
Whatever. What about you, Miss Thing?
I like the direction that this podcast has gone in from day one until now, because there's been different eras already to this podcast, and I'm glad that you are so consistent, because I think that's what people don't get, is that, you know, this digital world of like content creation and, you know, wanting something to be long term, like it's not, if it's fast success, it's not going to last, but something that lasts is like hard to maintain. And just like you were saying, like when the going gets tough, the tough get going. And I like,
see, back to the cliches. There's so much depth in it. Like, fucking just went off. I've heard that 1,000 times, and you saying it in reference to what I said right now it makes sense. Did you understand what that meant until right now? When the going gets tough, the tough get going. That just now sunk in.
I didn't get it until right now.
It just sunk in. That means that the tough people get going once it gets hard.
Yeah.
Just fucking, you know what I mean? Like all of those cliches have so much fucking depth.
Yeah.
Go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, it's okay. I'm glad that it. I mean,
today years old.
That's what this whole thing is like consistency. And if you have like a purpose, if you feel like you have a dream, even if it's, I was talking to people today, like, have you seen people who, there's like pube rings? You can send your, yeah, you can send
your pubes,
your partner's pubes into this girl who she like makes like epoxy rings with the pubes, or like, you know, I've seen breast milk jewelry. There's also cum jewelry. So like you take your man's cum and then she makes it into jewelry. And so, you know, there's a niche and there's a market for anything, you know? And so people, if those people can talk about their passions and like do it with a straight face and take the taboo out of it, obviously they're making money because people are indulging. So if you have like a podcast idea,
pearl necklace,
right? You have like a podcast idea, you want to content create, you want to make something of value, like it's valuable to somebody. And so to give a fuck about what someone would think. And so I'm you know, I'm proud of you for continuing to go with this podcast and like let it evolve how it wants to. Cause like, you know, your business is just your business, your podcast, whatever it is, everything is just an extension of you. So like as you grow, it's also going to change and evolve. You know, so to allow it that space to do that. And now the conversations we're having, like we don't have people arguing at a table, drunk, fucking being disrespectful. Like the conversations have been like hella fucking like deep. And I feel like we can talk to each other, even if we don't agree, in like a, you know, respectful adult manner where we're all learning something, you know, even if we're not on the exact same page. And so to create an environment for that, it's awesome that you're just continuing, and like you should see him throughout the week. It's like ideas and things that he wants to do and podcast ideas, and it's like you might see this like 2-hour podcast and it's like, oh cool, a conversation, but like
a lot of effort goes
there's a lot of like curating that is happening, and I'm excited to see it, you know.
I like
get off the ground.
One of those podcasts where they only like he brings on people that he can just talk shit to.
Right.
Like that's something that I first, when I first came on, I was like, am I gonna get like, is he gonna like find my flaws and like point them out?
Right.
And even though I know Troy's not like that, like people get different online. So it's a nice, safe environment for you. If you want to come on here, it's fun. He's not an asshole like you think he is, unless you make him. Yeah, but I like that it's more of we have progressive conversations where we're actually going towards like a point, and not just people on here to argue and talk shit and to get clout. Yeah, that's what I like about coming onto this.
Yeah, and seeing other women just like allow people to talk, because sometimes like, you know, if you're like unhealed and you hear someone talking, like you're gonna just, I need to blurt this out, and like there's, you know, instead of like, I'm going to let someone get their point across, even if I disagree. Like, it's like, you know, when emotions are high, logic is low. And I feel like a lot of us, like, keep our composure no matter what is being talked about in subjects. And we're able to laugh at certain things. So it's cool to be able to capture that all in this, you know, this space that you're providing online. Because I'm sure that you're helping people who might not be telling you, like, hey, this helped me. Mm-hmm. You know?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So.
Well, all right.
I didn't get one ding today.
Boom.
It's like,
You got
damn.
You get a ding for showing up.
Ow.
All right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. We will be back next week, but we are out of here because I got to go golfing in the morning. Well, I should have started that a little earlier. I'm not turning it off until this beat drops.
Oh my God.
Where's my man's at? Where's the little thing that? Gotta make sure his name's on here. You need beats, you gotta hit up my man Squeak Boogie. Oh yeah, this is an original.
Oh yeah.
You're not getting this anywhere else, but from where's the from
Like
right
the-
there.
The old
He puts a
radio.
lot into this. I know, right?
Yeah, like the old radio.
Subscribe,
They have all the
like,
call-outs.
share, comment, follow, do it all. Follow me, follow the podcast page.
Come on here.
Do it all, motherfuckers. Appreciate you.